Yes. So here's Jason. I'm going to talk to him a bit about our experience, or his experience, I have to say, with our program, the Entrepreneur Mastery Program. Jason, can you tell us how you came into the program? Like, what was your expectation, and what did you need?
Yeah, I was really at a point where I had worked a lot on myself on our business and we had gotten to a much better point, but then I had some life changes and it really it really threw everything off and we got disorganized. A lot of my good habits went away. And it was really hard for me to get back on track. So when we were approached about this, it was really good timing. It was like end of the year, so we would be starting the year off in a better note. And then really thought it would be a good idea to use it as a way to get back on track. And
Mm,
so yeah, that's kind of how we why we ended up, signing up and doing it. And yeah, that was
right,
good.
right. That's cool. And you have multiple businesses going on, so there's a lot in your life. There's also a young family. What were your biggest struggles at the moment when you came in?
Oof. Yeah, exactly. Many responsibilities in terms of family life and also trying to run two businesses and a consulting gig that, was taking up a lot of our time. It's just nonstop. So
Mm,
I really thought I needed better habits and better organization, to
mm,
be able to do it all. And I think, what ended up happening that we'll probably get into later was a little bit different. But yeah, we had zero time, super high stress, no
mm,
motivation to really make the changes. So I needed kind of accountability. We're in that place of like wanting to make better decisions, but wanting to have better habits, but not doing it, just kind of
right.
staying where we were. So
Yeah.
the idea was we need accountability, we need a good push in that direction, and to help us reduce stress, get into a better mindset to really, and then get at the
Yeah.
time what I thought would the best thing would be to get more organized with
Yeah.
everything that we had going on.
Right. Right. Yeah. So there's a lot going on, and you needed to make some decisions, make some changes. What were the most pivotal moments in the program for you?
Yeah, I think definitely was great because of the accountability that I did start to make smaller changes, right? With better habits. First of all, it was remembering and through gentle coaching from you guys that you need to make the changes before you achieve your goals. Otherwise, you're just not
Mm,
gonna get there. And so I
yeah.
was like, okay, so then we just have to start. And it was week over week, we added more and added more. And some fell off the radar as time went.
Mm,
But by the end of the program, I had implemented a good 10 habits that were much better for my health and for the business. So that was one thing. Just
yeah.
remembering and you guys highlighting the fact that you need to change before better things happen, you know.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then the other piece was um I was toying I basically what needed to end that consulting gig that I was talking about, and I needed to find a replacement income. So I had been toying around nonstop with
Yeah.
business ideas and all the AI stuff that's happening in the world. I was just constantly just researching and stuck in this anxiety of like, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
But not taking any action, just toying with probably 10 different ideas and implementing something and testing it out. And what you highlighted was that, I couldn't continue that way. I just had to make a decision and start acting on it instead of just
Yeah.
continuing this cycle. That was huge. I ended up making a decision and implementing really quickly and really getting the
Mm,
off the ground. So that's really cool.
right. Right.
And then lastly, it was where we realized that it was a little bit of we had so much going on that it was a little bit of self-sabotage to try to do it all.
Mm,
Sabotaging our health and our relationships and all that. So that's where the great insight was to really start delegating, like putting much more emphasis on delegating, on training some. and getting some
Yeah.
of the stuff off my plate. So that's something I all my professional career I don't do well. I try to do it all. It was just not working. So then
Right.
my real focus was, you know, delegate, find ways
Yes.
for other people to help out with all this, and that's what I've been focusing on. And I'm much happier in that direction. It's well, I'm not there yet, still training,
Yeah.
but it's already, paying dividends. And I think in a
Right.
couple of months it'll be much, much better.
That's amazing. Yeah, really happy with that too. And I remember that conversation where we were just like, you need to make a decision. I mean, it's also costing headspace to not make a decision and the
Yeah,
anxiety that comes with it, as you said. And
exactly.
I mean, not every decision is going to be great, but you need to go somewhere and move forward. And that's exactly what you did. So that's a great step forward for sure.
Yeah.
And I also wanted to highlight that you did a lot of work, right? Like you went on and used the accountability. You changed a lot of things from delegating as you said, but also just feeling much better into your health. What do I need to thrive? And a lot changed. I mean, if we look at your results beforehand and afterwards, there's some really big changes for you. And
Yep.
one of the things I would love to highlight is that your ability to turn off your head and to really be present.
Hmm.
And we talked about that, like what really changed for you there.
Yeah.
There's one exercise, remember,
Hey.
on progress and perspective. Can you say a couple words about that for you?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that as like a pivotal one, but that was probably the best one to remove a lot of like anxiety that I had constantly. It wasn't horrible, but it was just constantly there, the stress of worrying about the future, accomplishing my goals in the future. And if I don't do
Yes.
that, things are not, and all that anxiety. So yes, this one exercise was pivotal in completely eliminating that. It's crazy, but it was this exercise about looking back 3 years ago where you were and really picturing everything that was going on in your life at that point, and then fast forwarding to the present, and how much had changed, how much had improved. And in my particular situation, those exact 3 years were perfect because it
Mm,
was a completely different life. Not that it was bad then, but that we accomplished so much of those goals that we wanted to accomplish,
right.
with like having another baby, moving to another country, like paradise basically. And it was
Mm,
all super, super hard. And then growing the businesses to, far beyond what we had thought of in our heads. And so all
yeah,
that really basically said in my head, you know what, gave me confidence, gratitude, but also confidence that I'm just gonna get there over time. If I
exactly.
don't have to worry about the future nonstop, it's just take action and eventually, and we'll get there, just like what I did
Yeah,
from 3 years ago to now. So that
yeah,
was yeah,
yeah. That's amazing, and it really like lowered the anxiety because you
yes,
just knew like I got the confidence really to pull this off.
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Really cool. What also really changed for you is just having more direction in business, really knowing where you're going. How did that turn up? How was that practical for you?
Yeah, I think it was simply this thing of first of all, focusing, not having a million things going on. And secondly, this emphasis on delegation.
Mm,
Uh, that was it. It hasn't happened yet, but it gave me the direction of this is the most important thing I have to do. If I don't do this, then I'm going to continue being this stressed and this busy.
yeah.
And so, we can't continue that way. And just the one emphasis of my priority is delegating made me
Yes.
take, for instance, the training. We had been hiring somebody else anyway, but I hadn't taken the training seriously. It was all kind of like an afterthought.
Mm,
Whenever I had time, okay, let's have a meeting, I'll train you. After those conversations, those insights, it was like, no, this is my top priority, like training this guy. And we
yes.
started having very frequent meetings, long, an hour and a half, 2 hour meetings, and because there was a lot to learn. But just last week, I was like, man, this is finally paying dividends. Like,
Mm,
he's starting to do a ton of the stuff that I would normally do. Of course, I need to, for now, check a lot of the things he's doing.
right.
But the
Of
fact that
course.
it all went well, I was like, in a month where he continues to work, this is gonna
Yeah.
be really good. And then that also gave me the insight of we had planned to just hire him full time. We started toying the
Mm,
idea about full time with him, and he was all on board. So actually in May or June, he's gonna be with us full time. So
Amazing.
on two businesses.
That's
So
amazing.
yeah,
Yeah.
it'll be really cool.
So you're actually like going full out on him and
Yeah,
seeing the power of delegating and doing it with somebody that you actually trust and can fully rely on. That's
exactly,
amazing.
exactly.
Yeah, great, great. Yeah, so yeah, I want to thank you as well for just taking the time to actually do all the work and to show up and to
Yeah,
take this seriously because there's a lot of changes and it's all small points, leading up to a bigger result, but it's all progress. And I think
exactly.
you can be really, really
No,
proud of that. Yeah,
no, no,
yeah.
no. I think you guys, it was looking back. Looking back, I think it was a very gentle approach, just
Mm,
incremental, little by little, but also tough in the sense like when you guys needed to, it's like you
yeah.
make it real, and you're like you are sabotaging yourself,
Yes.
um, and making it real, but at the same time, the changes happen slowly over time and in logical progression. So it's crazy. Like I felt it was gentle,
Mm,
but there was a ton of change. So that was good.
right.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Well, happy to hear this. Thank you so much for sharing your experience.
Of course. Anytime.